doing a lot of thinking this morning. I've been doing a lot of watching theories and videos about Wicked Part 2, which I'm very excited for. It comes out in, what month are we on? September. It comes out in about, under 2 months now. And I believe at the end of this film, cover your ears if you don't want spoilers. Although actually they did show it at the start of Part 1, so it isn't technically a spoiler. But still, if you don't want to hear anything about Wicked Part 2, cover it, just leave this video. So at the end of Wicked, I believe that Elphaba actually fakes her own death. Like everybody in whatever their city's called, everyone in Oz has this kind of collective understanding that if water touches the Wicked Witch, aka Elphaba, she will melt and die. But I just find this so stupid. It makes no sense, because legitimately, what did they think would happen if it rained? Like, at some point in the duration of all of the antics of Wicked happening, you know, I don't know how long Boq and Nessa are married for, but there's like there are long-term relationships in this show / film, and you're telling me in this whole, like, let's say like 5 years, 10 years, maybe even a couple of years, in this whole time it hasn't rained once. She hasn't caught a drop of rain on her skin once, and no one's ever questioned it. Because, girl, if I knew somebody who was highly allergic to water, to the point that if they got water on their skin, they will literally melt and die, and then it rains, they get a drop of water on their skin and nothing happens, I'd be questioning that shit. I'd be like, girl, are you just lying for attention? Because honestly, if you are real, I respect that. And I guess she does kind of just go with this rumour. It's obviously, in the end, it's obviously not true, and that's how she fakes her death, on the belief that, like, everyone thinks she's allergic to water, but she's actually not, so she fakes her melting, and so on and so on and so on, and then runs off into the sunset with Fiyero. But I just find it hard to believe that in her whole life nobody has ever brought that up. No one has ever questioned that. But regardless, I'm not shitting on Wicked. I am a little bit. I am genuinely really excited for this new film, and I loved the last one. I cried my eyes out when the goat professor got taken, held hostage. It was when they knocked his plant over. When they knocked his plant over in, was it plant? When they knocked his little jar with a flower in, I think, over in the lesson, and wrote horrible things all over his whiteboard. I was bawling in that cinema, girl. Okay, I need to go and put my contact lenses in. I can't see shit. Oh, what is going on here? You're green. So yes, I do think that Wicked Part 2 is gonna be phenomenal. They really seem to be leaning into it like a horror for this next part, especially on the parts where the Tin Man, Scarecrow, I mean, not lying, but the Tin Man and Scarecrow transformations, I hope they're going to make them really, not like super graphic, but it'd be cool if they were as interesting as the transformation they gave the flying monkeys. Like, that made me feel uncomfortable. It was so well done that it made me cringe in the cinema when the monkeys sprouted the wings. I didn't really like how they looked in pain, but I guess it's necessary to portray the story that they're trying to portray. Like, they need to, with the whole political aspect of Wicked, they have to portray that suffering and pain as it was meant to be portrayed. And if you have not a clue what I'm talking about, you've never seen Wicked, then you're in safe hands. I had to explain this to my mum this morning, because my mum just outright refuses to watch it. My mum thinks, and you know, I understand why she might think this from the first trailers, my mum thinks that Wicked is like this whimsical, cheery, high-pitched musical, and it just doesn't pique her interest at all. But I keep trying to explain to her that it's not like that. It's kind of in the same way that Cabaret does. It tricks you into this false sense of security at the start, like, oh yes, look at us, we're living in Oz, everything's perfect, you know, let's run through the poppy fields singing and dancing. But it's got these really sinister undertones and foreshadowing all the way through, and then it takes that sudden dark turn into political and realistic and, well, horror, I guess. And I love films that do that. I was trying to explain this to her, and I've been trying to get her to watch it since the first one came out, and I think I'm just about getting there. I explained Wicked 2 to her this morning, and we might be getting somewhere. It tackles real world issues. The themes that run through Wicked, like if you have never seen Wicked is all about oppression and discrimination. You know, you've got the obvious ones like the discrimination against Elphaba for being green, for the colour of her skin, which is very much a real world issue. But then you have this whole other storyline about how the animals, the speaking animals in Oz, and it, you know, it's like it's portrayed in a way that's palatable for children, but it is very real. It's a very real world issue. So you've got the speaking animals who are meant to represent the, I guess, oppressed and minorities in our real world society, and they are being silenced by the Ozian government, who is slowly removing animals' rights and eventually their ability to speak altogether. These animals who were once integrated in society had high-powered jobs like professors. We see it with Dr. Dillerman, the goat professor. The goat professor. They are eventually taken away, thrown in cages, and stripped of all of their human rights or animal rights in this world. And honestly, what a perfect time for part 2 of this film to drop. I don't know if this was planned. I don't see how they could plan it. No one can predict the events of the world, but with everything that is going on in the world at the moment, you know, just bear in mind that in Wicked, it's all about discrimination and oppression. They are marching, they are hoisting banners that say "Kill the witch." And most people watch this on a screen and they're sad, they're upset, they feel so much empathy for Elphaba as a character. But why do so many of us not feel the same empathy when this is actually happening in real life? And that is exactly the message of the film, isn't it? So just a little food for thought on this Monday afternoon. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're as excited about Wicked Part 2 as I am. I think if it's going to be anything, it's going to be impactful. It's going to be a super powerful message. I'm looking forward to it massively. If you guys are new and you have enjoyed my video today, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I do music predominantly. I have original stuff on all streaming platforms. I will put all my socials and my musicy stuff in the description, but I like to get on here sometimes and just have a little chat with you guys. Also make sure you click the bell to turn on notifications for my videos. That would be helping me out so much, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.